Next, we have the nomination of candidates. In a democratic election, people should have a real choice. This happens only when there are almost no restrictions on anyone to contest an election. Anyone who can be a voter can also become a candidate in elections. The only difference is that in order to be a candidate, the minimum age is 25 years, while it is 18 years for being a voter. Political parties nominate their candidates who get a party symbol and support. Party's nomination is called party ticket. Every person who wishes to contest an election has to fill a nomination form and give some money as a security deposit. And now, a new system of declaration has been introduced by Supreme Court. Every candidate has to make a legal declaration giving full details of the following things: serious criminal cases pending against the candidate, details of the assets and liabilities, education qualifications of the candidate. And this information has to be made public. The reason behind this is this provides an opportunity to the voters to make their decision on the basis of the information provided by the candidates. Election campaign. The main purpose of election is to give people a chance to choose their representatives, the government, and the policies they prefer. So it becomes necessary to have a free and open discussions about who is a better representative, which party will make a better government, or what is a good policy. This is what happens during election campaigns. In our country, campaigns take place for 2 weeks period between the announcement of the final list of the candidates and the date of polling. During this period, the candidates contact the voters, political leaders, address elections, meetings, and political parties. This is also the period when newspapers, televisions, news are full of election related debates. But election campaign is not limited to these 2 weeks. Political parties start preparing for elections month before they actually take place. In election campaign, political parties want to attract the public. So they try to use some slogans for it. Like the Congress party led by Indira Gandhi gave the slogan of Garibi Hatao in the Lok Sabha elections in the year 1971. Save Democracy was the slogan given by Janata Party in the next Lok Sabha elections held in the year 1977. The Left Front used the slogan of Land to the Tiller in the West Bengal Assembly elections held in the year 1977. Protect the self-respect of the Telugus was the slogan used by N.T. Ramarao, the leader of the Telugu Desam Party in Andhra Pradesh Assembly elections in the year 1983. Now, according to our election law, no party or a candidate can bribe or threaten voters, appeal to them in the name of caste or religion, use government resources for election campaign, and spend more than 25 lakhs in a constituency for a Lok Sabha election or rupees 10 lakh in a constituency in assembly election. If they do so, their elections can be rejected by the court even after they have been declared elected. In addition to the laws, all the political parties in our country, they have agreed to a model code of conduct. According to this, no party or a candidate can use any place of worship for election propaganda, use government vehicles. Once elections are announced, ministers shall not lay foundation stones of any projects. Next, we have polling and counting of votes. The final stage of an election is the day when the voters cast or poll their vote. That day is called the election day. Every person whose name is in the voters list can go to a nearby polling booth. Once the voter goes inside the booth, the election officials identify, put a mark on a finger and allow to cast vote. An agent of each candidate is allowed to sit inside the polling booth and ensure that the voting takes place in a fair way. The voters used to indicate who they wanted to vote by putting a stamp on a ballot paper. A ballot paper is a sheet of paper on which the names of the contesting candidates along with the party name and symbols are listed. But nowadays, electronic voting machines, that is EVM, are used to record votes. The machine shows the names of the candidates and the party symbols. Independent candidates too have their own symbols, which are allotted to them by election officials. All the voter has to do is to press the button against the name of the candidate he or she wants to give her vote. And once the polling is over, all the EVMs are sealed and taken to a secure place. A few days later, on a fixed date, all the EVMs from a constituency are opened and the votes secured by each candidate are counted. The agents of all the candidates are present there to ensure that the counting is done properly. The candidate who secures the highest number of votes from a constituency is declared elected. In a general election, usually the counting of votes takes place at the same time on the same day. Within a few hours of counting, all the results are declared and it becomes clear as to who will form the next government.